How many of you guys have bad habits? Okay. I know you guys all have bad habits, but thanks for raising your hands. Well, that's what my speech is about. It's about how to break bad habits. And so, pretty much some of the main points I'll be going over is a step-by-step guide how to break a bad habit. Like one of them will be like, realize what your bad habit is, and like we'll go on from there. And then also the first thing I'll talk about is what is a bad habit and how you know when bad habits start. Alright, my introduction was that, so we're actually going to go to the next slide. What is a bad habit? Well, a bad habit is something you do repetitively that does not benefit you at all in any way, shape, or form. So like one thing would be like biting your nails all the time. That's a really bad habit. Or having just like bad sleeping habits is another one. I know a lot of us probably have that. Bad habits, for one, they waste your time. They get you like off track a lot. And so they can like distract you from what you need to do and like what you need to work on and get done. And so they can also be like hazardous, and some bad habits can be like bad for your health, like smoking. And when do bad habits start? According to the Huffington Post, that bad habits are caused by two main things. They can start by either having a lot of stress or a lot of boredom. So if you have a lot of free times, you might start bad habits. Or if you're stressed out, you could also start some bad habits as well. If you have a bad habit when you're like stressed, you need to like take anything that could like trigger it out. So like whenever you're stressed and you're thinking like, oh, I need to go like do this, you need to like get away from that as much as possible. So like take out your triggers is one of like an important step of like how to get rid of a bad habit. A couple other steps here to break your bad habit, like first steps in like the right direction to break your bad habit. Well, one of the first steps, according to WebMD.com, is to like make sure you know what your bad habit is. Like make it conscious that you know what it is. Like conscious, but like if you know you bite your nails, you need to like do something about it. You need to know that it's a bad habit. You can't just like do it all the time like without knowing, because a lot of times when people like do their bad habits, they don't know they're actually doing it, and so that's how it can get just worse and worse and progress, and you'll never like really know. And then another thing is you need to figure out why you're doing that bad habit, which kind of goes back to stress or boredom. If you start seeing like it's because you're stressed out, whatever it is that's like stressing you out, you need to try to take that out, because that'll help you get rid of the bad habit. And if you're bored, you just like, honestly, you need to figure out something to do with that spare time other than the bad habit, because once again, you don't want to be like doing this bad habit for years and years to come and then actually have a lot of trouble getting rid of it. And then another way, according to activebeat.com, you might be in like denial. And like denial, it's like not like, I guess not denial, but someone might bring it up to you and you've done it so much you won't really see it as a bad habit. You'll be like, no, that's not a bad habit, I don't really do that or have that problem, because you don't really know it, you're not making it known that you do it, or trying to break your bad habits. And so, go to the next one. Final steps to rid your bad habit. You need to try and replace your bad habit with a good one. I feel like that's probably one of the most important steps. You need to make a good habit in exchange for a bad habit. And so, habits are formed by repetition. The easier you practice your good habit, the easier it's going to be to just forget about the bad habit and like move on from that. So like the more and more and more you practice your good habit, the better chance you have getting rid of your bad habit, because all habits are started by like repetition. So as long as you keep doing your good habit, you'll be able to work on breaking your bad one. And then another one is like rewarding yourself. Like the more you get closer to breaking your bad habit. This one's like kind of hard, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta get, like, treat yourself to a reward. It's hard, like, because this one's probably more for adults. Like, if you have a bad eating habit, like, you catch yourself, like, going to McDonald's and ordering too many McDoubles, and then you're like, okay, no, I'm gonna get a salad instead. You can later treat yourself to, like, a reward. Or if you find yourself, like, biting your nails, and you notice you're not biting your nails, it's kind of like, just give yourself a pat on the back, make sure you know, like, you're doing good. Like, remind yourself and tell yourself that you're doing good, like, oh, hey, that's good. I'm not doing that bad habit anymore. I'm starting to work on it and break it. And then try, like, an alternate for your bad habit. This is kind of connected to, like, switching your good habit with a bad habit with, like, the repetition. But if you can find, like, if you can find certain things that are like your bad habit, but they're not like your bad habit, that will help you break it over time. And like, there's almost an alternate for like everything. So if you just like think of some ideas, you'll be good to go. Cause like once you think of something else to do, then you start repeating it, doing your repetitions, and it'll help you break the bad habit even more. We'll go to the next slide. Conclusion. Well, all in all, there's many ways to break bad habits. I can't just sit up here for like 8 minutes and tell you every single way to break a bad habit. But like, no one wants to be stuck on a bad habit for years to come. That's why I like brought you the presentation, hoping to like take some of the steps. And then like, just remember, like you need to establish what your bad habit is. You need to know what it is, and you need to like try to switch it out with a good habit. And then, yeah, I hope you guys like learned something today from this. And if you have any bad habits, I'll encourage you to like try some of these because they'll probably work.